Hello Culers, it's Pablo here and welcome back to Barca Universal, and yes, club football is back. After 2 weeks out, Barcelona are back in action here, and of course we are now back on the channel with more content for you guys. And of course, today's video is going to be the match preview for Barcelona versus Valencia, a really big clash this at the Camp Nou, and of course it actually comes at the start of a huge 7 days for Ronald Koeman's Barcelona with 3 massive home games at the Camp Nou, and the action starts tomorrow night in a really big game in La Liga. We know we've got to win, so let's get started. And this one, as mentioned guys, will be played at the Camp Nou. It's going to be a 9 PM local time kickoff there on the Sunday, so that's one of the last games in La Liga this weekend. However guys, both Real Madrid and Atletico are not in action this weekend due to little international break issues. You know, like when we didn't play Sevilla on the first weekend back once. That's exactly what's happened to Real and Atletico here, so it's only us in action this weekend, and of course guys, it is going to be at a Camp Nou that is now allowed to have 100% capacity, although I actually doubt we will be able to get near that amount for this specific fixture, but certainly guys, for the future, that should be good news, and even tomorrow guys, the atmosphere should be good in there, and certainly we will be needing our fans to get the feeling for this sort of clash. And let's start with ourselves here in Barcelona, because as we know guys, you know, we've got to start winning games. It's that simple really. We're approaching an absolutely massive week here, and let's be honest guys, it could honestly shape our season. I think regarding the mood coming into this game, I wouldn't say us fans are massively hopeful or confident in this team, simply because guys, we haven't really been given much reason to be hopeful for these sorts of moments, you know, in such crucial games when we know we need to produce. We haven't seen enough from this team this season to think, yeah, we're going to turn up here. We can really turn a corner and get the 3 points. And I think it's fair to say, you know, a big reason for that probably would be the fact that Koeman is still the coach. I think, let's be honest, guys, all of us fans probably expected Koeman to be sacked by now. We probably expected him to be moved on, really. And I think, you know, we were all expecting that would be the decision that Joan Laporta made. He's still here. And I think right now, amongst the fan base, that doesn't really fill us with confidence. We haven't been playing well this season. We haven't seen enough from Koeman in the team. And that really, you know, we get the feeling that it's not going to change, I suppose, simply because no decisions have been made off the pitch to change that. What I would say though is that at least now guys, there is some calm. At least now we know guys, we're not coming to this game and wondering whether it will be Koeman's last or not. We know guys, this isn't going to be his last game. He will be here after this one, and I'm just hoping that sort of calm and, well, that, you know, that's some form of trust that the board have given Koeman now can actually relay onto the team, because in these next few games we don't want any distractions. We don't want players thinking this guy's going to be going after this game, so you know we don't need to perform. We don't need any of that, and I'm hoping right now the players know, you know, Koeman, he's not going to be going anywhere, certainly this week at least, and we've got 3 massive games at the Camp Nou, so they've got to produce really. And certainly tomorrow night, you know, more than ever, we need that cohesion, we need that belief in our idea of football, and we've got to be united together for these sorts of fixtures. Regarding team news, there certainly are some notable points to discuss. Of course, Araujo is out injured. He got injured with Uruguay. That's a big miss for Barcelona, and his injury record really is worrying, so he is not going to be available for this one, and he's not going to be available actually for a few weeks too now, so that is a massive miss obviously at the back. In defence though, we also have Alba and Balde returning, so our 2 left backs are back. That's good news, so Alba should be ready to start tomorrow. And also guys, looking up front, Ansu Fati is slowly getting, you know, more minutes of course, so he could start tomorrow. I'm still expecting him to start from the bench, and maybe he'll start midweek in the Champions League. But Kun Agüero is another player who is back guys, and he should be getting some minutes off the bench in tomorrow's fixture. So regarding lineup, I think there are a few ways we could be looking at this in terms of how Koeman could be lining up. I think this is the sort of thing Koeman's going to go for. I think he's going to go back to the back 3, and I think of course Ter Stegen will be in goal. In the back line it could be anyone, but I think he'll revert back to using Longley there, and that back 3 there is actually the back 3 we used for a lot of our best games last season, to be fair. I mean, Guetta on the right, Piqué in the middle, and Longley on the left. I think look, it's not ideal playing Piqué and Longley together. Again, it really isn't. Maybe Eric Garcia will be used, but I just don't think Eric in that left centre-back role really works. I really don't. So I think Longley could be brought back in if we do go to the back 3, and I think the back 3 is something Koeman actually does want to use for these next few fixtures, certainly with our limited attackers anyway. In midfield, I think Pedri is still injured, so he won't be available for this one. He could be back next week maybe, so I think it will be, you know, Busquets in there, De Jong and Pablo Gavi. And I think what you'd say about that midfield, guys, is that it should be doing better than what we've been seeing in previous weeks. That is for sure. We saw with the Spanish national team, Gavi and Busquets were absolutely wonderful. And next to De Jong in there, guys, there's no excuse not to be dominating games. There really isn't. I think, you know, you've got Dest on right wing back, Alba on left wing back. It's a strong midfield, it really is, and I think Barcelona should be doing well with that. Up front, Memphis, of course, will start, and I think it will be Coutinho next to him just for one last game. Agüero, of course, isn't fit to start, and then Ansu Fati, I think, you know, if he starts, I wouldn't be, you know, hugely surprised, but I think Koeman's just going to embed him in from the bench one more game. But how would you guys actually line up for this one? Because I think we could also, you know, go with a 4-3-3. You could take Longley out of there, for example. You could bring someone like Nico into the team and kind of pack out the midfield. You could bring Yusuf Demir into the team, for example, and have more natural width, even Luke de Jong up front. But I think these options here, they're not great, so that's why I think Koeman will use the back three, and I think actually for the next few games, that is what he'll go for too. So back three I think will be what we go for tomorrow, but of course, who knows. And regarding our opposition, guys, in Valencia, I think certainly, guys, we recognise this is going to be a tough test. This will be a really hard game for Barcelona. I think whenever we play Valencia, actually, we do say the same sort of thing. It's going to be a tough battle. We know they come up against us. We know they raise their game for these sorts of clash. They do it against Real Madrid too. They do it against Atletico. They really do, turn up for these sorts of occasions. But I think certainly this season more than ever, guys, it should actually be a proper test, because Valencia, in my opinion, have actually started the season really well. They're under new coach Jose Bordalas, who of course took Getafe to Europe not long ago. And despite being winless in 4 games, actually, Valencia, they are level on points with us. And to me, they've looked really good. I think they've looked much improved from last season. And I actually think that right now, Bordalas and Valencia looks like a really good fit. I think the 4-4-2 shape, how compact they are, the system's working, they're hard to play against, they're hard to score against. And I think they will certainly feel coming to the Camp Nou tomorrow against this Barcelona, like we've said in a lot of previews now, they'll feel confident. They'll feel, yeah, we can get a result. They've got a result at the Camp Nou. And certainly at Mestalla, even when they've been in really bad periods. So they will feel they can come tomorrow and pick something up. I think on top of the structure they've already got, which is very solid, they've also got some really talented players too. I think the likes of Gaia and Soler certainly stand out to me in terms of top quality players that, could even play in a Barcelona team. And those guys were actually fitness scouts for this game, but they should be back ready to start for this one. And to wrap up then with my match prediction, we will be going back to the predictions now after the international break. I'm going to go optimistic, guys. I'm going to hope. I'm going to go for Barcelona 2, Valencia 1. We take any win right now. I think any win here would be a really good result for Barcelona. It would be an absolutely massive 3 points, that is for sure. So come on guys, let's get something. Let's all get together. I think the team is strong enough. I think there are a few worries in defence. I also look in attack and I just think, where are the goals really going to come from? That does frustrate me, but I always like the look of us in the back three. I don't know why. I think the midfield is really strong, and I think Dest and Alban in the wing-back areas, they really suit it. So that's what I'm hoping for. But what are your guys' expectations for the game? I think we're going to have to really be on our game for this one. I am hoping that the fact that, there's not so much talk about whether Koeman stays or goes or not, I'm hoping that relays onto the pitch, like I said. I'm hoping we can put in a good performance, a steady performance, and just gain some structure. I'm hoping Koeman and the players have been working on something over the international break. I know it's hard because a lot of players have been away, but thankfully a few have remained. Pete Kerr would have been there, Mingueza and Longley would have been there, Jordi Alba of course stayed, Coutinho would still be there, so I think a few players remain, guys, and that's good news, it really is. So let's see what they can do tomorrow. Let's hope we get a good result. I'll be here after full time, of course, for the match review, so I'll see you then, guys. As always, leave any of your thoughts in the comments down below, and goodbye.